So loud. Hi, everybody. Hi. Welcome, welcome. We're going to talk about the fifth dimension, other dimensions, the divine plan. We're going to go way out there. So get comfortable. This is Joanna here on 5D Earth. Where are you? Really? Am I lipstick going? Okay. Allowing ourselves to come into a higher harmonization of who we are, who we are. Thank you, dear lighted ones. And we're bringing celebration to our new earth. We're bringing celebration to who we are as divine infinite beings of the Holy Creator. Thank you, Holy Creator. I had some amazing experiences today, and I wanted to show and share with you, dear lighted ones, children of earth, this children of the new garden. We are all seeds of the Holy Creator, and within this seed, as Spirit does through you, have the highest intention of potentiality and believes in you with the highest intention of potentiality. There's always these experiences of, do you believe in the power of your own faith and your own inner knowing and that beingness, that knowing of thy name, of who you are with Spirit, how that can change and alter everything within and without? For that is the true, the will, the I am, the will, that will presence, the I am presence of who you are, changing and altering your reality. And so never underestimate the power of your own will and that mustard seed, if you will, that can carry and move mountains in these beautiful transformative times. We're going to talk about something really way out there. These experiences I had, we're shifting in every moment. In every moment, we sometimes are so focused on the little micro, macro experiences that we forget to really expand our consciousness into the all of who we are, this beautiful all moment that is harmonizing those soul aspects of who we are, higher vibrational aspects of who we are. And we say lower only in that there's stories that have not yet been harmonized and accepted in your wholeness. Those soul fragments that we call dark shadows or remote dark night of the soul, where you're calling in those moments that have been very tragic and very traumatic. As we've judged others, those are those parts of ourselves that we need to bring in and create wholeness with, and release judgment and create acceptance with. The 3 A's of self-actualization is the acknowledgement of who you are and all people before you and all lands before you and all other worldly planets, because we're going to go way out there, and this is why acceptance is so very key. The acceptance part of who you are in all things and all beings, and everything that unfolds on planet Earth, and the inner child within you showing you through the allowance of who you are as a sacred child, you're opening up to new and greater things. And so that allowance is what we're going to talk about. The allowance of how profound the divine plan is and what the divine plan means to you, and really how profound it is that we have no idea. But I like to bring these expansive conversations so that you truly understand what magnitude of who you are as a universal omnipresent being. When I say all universal, I mean the multiverse. The multiverse is how many universes that you belong to, the parts of you, the fragments of your soul that you belong to, that are being harmonized into this now moment of light and benevolence that we've never experienced before as humans. We just haven't. Our body is constantly harmonizing and integrating greater aspects of light. And they were telling me today, the councils and beautiful beings that I'm now connecting with that are just so different than they used to be, because the energies and the beddings that we're all sitting within, and how we're being harmonized, how we're being activated, and how you intend to seek into these wide and vast experiences are traversing you into omnipresent energies. And they're particles of light codes. They're particles of remembrance. They're particles of the divine creator that's activating you in certain ways that allows you to remember. Because remember, everything that is physical is an illusion. But because you're a multidimensional being, you can create in any moment. You can create and go through a particle of space, or a beautiful healing that you've done overnight with your teams, and you're intending healing, or you're going to a healer and you're doing your healing, you're taking your devotion into your own path, and you're clearing out the densities and the old versions of you. And you can have any one of these codes or aspects of space or arrangement of energy, because space is arranged by energy. Space is arranged by vibration, by its code within that particular, we say area or location, but it's all vibration. What that is meant to do in the whole divine plan, grander evolution. Just as if there are sacred aspects on our planet, sacred sites on our planet, they're there for a reason, being continually upgraded and modified. Portals are being upgraded and modified. All of these specific points, if you will, or places, if you will, are only vibrations of remembrance. They're there for specific reasons to uplift and bathe and cleanse and ignite new codes within our crystalline grids, which activate the crystalline energies of us. we're becoming less and less carbon and more crystalline, which means we're going to have to start taking care of ourselves in a different way. Why have we been talking about self-care for so long? And these various codes activate those particular space arrangements, if we will. We're only using the words that we have, so don't get fixated on the words that I'm using, because it's not what it is, because everything is an illusion. You are a vast cosmic being of omnipresent light, and you can be activated for the remembrance that is required so that your consciousness can expand, because everything is consciousness. You expand because of consciousness. This is why you don't want to rush through anything. You want to absolutely soak every moment for all that it is and really open up within everything. Take that light to that very core issue and open up within it. That is how you become the master of your consciousness, expanding it and contracting it in all moments, because that's evolution. That's how our whole entire omnipresence moves through evolution. One universe harmonizing within itself to another universe, to another universe, to another universe. And that's what they were showing me today. When we get activated in those remembrances, this top-down experience, this is you and source, you and your omnipresent, you and your I am presence, returning all power, energy, and light back to you. And as you're spiraling in this now moment, the divine plan of what you've organized and what you've administrated, what you've designed to the very highest evolution of who you are with spirit and source, and the highest beings of light, based on who you are, what you're here to do, what you're here to create, who are you, what teams and councils are you working with, what teams and councils are you ready to help activate into a new higher vibration of evolutionary journeyment. Those codes will get activated for this part. This aspect of you that might be a 10th dimensional aspect of you just went through its activation of its harmony into higher source light, higher source omnipresence, higher source oneness, and that will thread through all aspects that this is, 8th, 9th, 7th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, elemental, earth. All aspects in creation are being now activated into that space arrangement. Your soul is an experience of many points of the omnipresent that is being activated when it needs to and how it needs to. That's why you have a higher self. Your higher self has always linked you with that divine plan. What did you arrange with Spirit God, your higher self, the Mother, Father, and why are you here in this moment? Why everything happens in the divine experience that it does? All circumstances, all experiences, and all choices, your parents, the stories that you've chose to come with your parents. We've talked about that before, about the 3D stories that you've come with for your collective, for your family, for your social category, if you will, for preferences or dogma or lineage or specific race, if you will. All that is entangled in why are you here to deconstruct limitation and then recreate it in its wholeness. And everybody comes, every single soul without exception, comes with those experiential stories and pinpoints, experiences throughout the now omnipresent that you're meant to kind of bring holism to, through the acceptance, acknowledgement, and the allowance of who you are becoming whole. And so in this, because we're now entering these new dynamic paradigms of space and the universes are coming together in this beautiful harmonic now moment, we're now excited to create these moments of pockets of portals and these we're going to call it a portal because that's what happened today. I was introduced to this portal by the connection of an experience, and this being was in front of me, and it was this specific time and space where energies were fluid with one another. And because of my intention and where I was being held, the specific timing in my blueprint meant to activate something that was connected with somebody that I had been in a session with. And this connection with this point was just the right energy, because that person held the right code for me. Because I'm a conduit, I can see what's in the field and feel what's in the field. My heart is open in this experience, and that allows that fluid experience to flow. That's why allowance is so key. That's why daily self-care is so key, so that you're removing the density. The more density you remove, opens this fluid allowance of light and codes to come and live through you. The sacred Merkaba, the sacred geometry of who you are, has greater flow of source. And therefore, you're just surrendering to source. Take me wherever, source, and allow me to be your vessel of light. Allow me to be this beautiful vessel of constant harmonization of greater omnipresent, and then allow source and your teams and your higher self and your soul to do as it's meaning to. Because this aspect of code enlightenment, the divine plan that you've written, although when you're writing a divine plan, it doesn't say on, January 5th, this day and that time. It's based on where you're at right now in your consciousness. That's why it's so key of all the things that we've taught, because your consciousness is everything. Your consciousness is everything on how you manifest your health and your wellness, how you're changing the earth as far as a light worker and operating in the highest version of you. And again, all of that, which is then transferable offering your highest and your best to all soul contracts you belong with, your children and your future, and the future futures of you, future futures of Earth, future futures of the hybrid children, future futures of everybody in the creation. Because this one activation, everything within creation changes the all. One small thing is a grand thing. So as I was experiencing to my client this morning, I was saying, we all accept every single aspect of all life as a part of Source Creator, the omnipresence that's going through omnipresent evolution, the expansiveness of spirit, no matter how small or how big. For example, your toe, God's toe, if we will, and we always try and predict God as a being, as a human. It's only a representation because we're in human form, and that's how we can connect it. But if we say the all that is, that's creating universes and multiverses, just because the toe of God is at the end of the body doesn't mean it's any less God. Every aspect of creation is still God. It's still the cell within the cell, the micro within the micro, the macro within the macro. It's all aspects of God, all evolving. So as God is calling in that aspect of itself to know itself more, to heal itself, because the omnipresent of God, that ninth dimension of you, has just gone through an aspect of reorientating itself as a higher vibrational being of the ninth dimension. That activation has then activated this activation of you, and then you're now able to call on that light and that code to harmonize you as of a higher vibrational being, whether it be the metaphor of God and God's toe, or your ninth dimensional version of you to the version of you right now. They're all cascading elements of light. And why my fourth book is called The Alliance with Light. Because when you're understanding that you have all aspects of light in all arenas and all dimensions, you then start to begin to let go, and the ego can relax a little bit, because the ego has no idea what a divine plan is. The ego cannot navigate you around your divine plan. Your ego doesn't, it's not meant to, it's not designed to. And allowing yourself to heal all of those moments where the ego gets really, kind of confused at what it's supposed to do and how it's supposed to manage through a fifth dimensional experience or transcension. It just doesn't. You're meant to just surrender in every moment. Honor and accept the triggers as you're getting them. Allow yourself to open up to the healing that's available, and understand that you're a part of a design that is divine and grand. The divine plan is so grand. If you're meant to be activated through the elementals of a fairy, or you're meant to have an activation of, this beautiful client that I had today had a huge galactic federation that was with this beautiful being, and those codes and those galactic codes that were in his field were able to open me in my field, and then all of a sudden that portal is open and the energy flows. So that's what conduits and empaths do. This is why it's really important to take daily devotion for your own self-care, so that you're clearing and cleansing your own field, and you're staying on top of how you're integrating light and how you're processing at light. It's just a matter of just creating more joy within your life, creating more beautiful harmony within your life, so you're able to really detach from all of this superficial ego stuff, which is all distractions that stop you from the evolution of who you are as a soul, because it's so grand and vast. When you're falling in love with who you are and you're returning everything back to center, and you're returning everything from within, you're so vast and powerful within that anything outside of you becomes really superficial. It's still the experience, it's still needed. But all of those little things that the ego likes to put outside, because it doesn't want to go within, it doesn't want to create, and it doesn't want to master and heal those wounds that are within. It keeps pushing you to those distractions, everything outside of you. And why our little handheld devices have been the greatest distraction. You can change that reality very quickly. When you're hand holding any device, have it and imagine it to be an aspect of you. And what things would you like to see that device come through as? Start entraining everything in your reality to be aspects of you, so that you're not holding a device that is outside of you, that is allowing you to detach from you. So create that device as a portal that you're calling in information that can serve you and honor you and nourish you as the soul that you are. This will be a part of our 5D co-creation. So we're taking everything in our momentary experience, instead of it being just a rendition of non-conscious co-creation, not being a part of anything, and we're just kind of running on these non-conscious programs, and we're being fed these non-conscious experiences. We're actually conscious co-creators, and every moment and everything becomes a portal of new beginnings and new expansiveness, because we can. And so this beautiful portal that I opened, this beautiful portal that was helping, this being was helping me open this portal, and we ended up losing the connection because the energies were just so high. There was a big transference of energy that was going on there, but it allowed me to see that how space and time is arranged is based on vibration, and it's based on the arrangement of energy in that experience. And so we can create these beautiful experiences where we're all just harmonizing in the open-hearted, because that's what these sessions do that we offer, is they're just grand excitement sessions that we're just opening these portals of exploration for one another. And usually those that, when you have these beautiful experiences with me, they're just beautiful excitements just to open up these portals of how vast you are. And you end up seeing on this beautiful portal that's created, you end up seeing all of these experiences of you coming out and to be flourished and harmonized as something new. And then that gives that freedom and that one right moment where God, source creator, that's connected with all universes, all beings, all energies, everything. God is everywhere. God then says, great, the portal's open, zoom, 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 zoom. And now instantly those energies and those codes take place and something miraculous happens. So what we thought to be true about portals and black space and all of those things that we thought we had to give meaning to and direction to, what we thought our reality was even about, we're going to be changing all of that, because it's not really what we thought and it's not really what we think, because there's a grand design, there's a grand plan within the organization of all that is energy. As we open our consciousness and as we open our hearts to be more, to explore more, we're preparing ourselves for all aspects of who we are. So as we said earlier, the grand design is that when you're ready to meet that ninth dimensional version of you, that ninth dimensional version of you has also been calling you in. So as you are perceiving the all in you and within you and without you, so too is that perceiving you. You're opening your heart space, you're opening the soul of all that you are, the omnipresence of who you are, and you're calling in that thread of that multiverse. You're calling in that thread of that code that was just activated from that person standing in front of you, because they had a code in their field that was slightly arranged in a similar way to that universe that was calling in that energy. This is how conduits and empaths and how seers like myself, thank you, Holy Spirit, we're able to thread the codes and we're able to thread the light for healing and harmony to new timelines. It's beyond what I can explain, but part of my role is to heal and thread in and co-create as a co-creator and with the creator collective. 12th dimensional creators, thank you, Spirit, is part of healing. Not only healing, but more magnificently is to create beautiful timelines that are multiverse in experience. And so these are parts of my soul and my soul's codes that are being activated to come and bring beautiful energies and codes of light that are omnipresent and yet not explained in our words that we have, if we were to say use the versions of terms that we have used in past, say Pleiadian energy or Syrian energy or Andromedan. We know that these beings and these celestials are part of who we are. They're a part of our family. They're part of our DNA, and they come with us. But we don't yet have words for the omnipresent and the multiverse that we also come from. And so there's portals and there's space-time arrangement that are coded as light that we are now being bathed with, because the consciousness of the planet is raising up. And the consciousness raises up through various experiences, through mass awakenings, through experiences of trauma on your planet, through which you return to your heart and you truly start to wonder and value who you are in different ways. Releasing what you call superficial ego experience, through which all of your wounding and all of your energies are then purged to the creator and to the energies that are helping you transmute all dense energies that are held within your bodies and your systems, so that you can open up to greater light, so that you can process greater light and you can become greater light. And all of a sudden, what you didn't know yesterday, you simply know today. This is why your children, dear lighted ones, are going to be requiring various systems of platforms that are not like your brick and mortar schools, if you will, teaching regurgitated information from a 3D perspective, but they're going to be very vast experiences of multidimensional movement throughout your time and space. You call time and space, which are just experiences of how your space is arranged through energy vibration. This is why you've seen on your planet, those of you that have had the joy and the experience of seeing many light ships of your consciousness, the light ships can disappear within a moment and seem to move across your sky in the moment of a second. And it is appear they have beautiful machines that can go at that speed. But it's just that they're changing space-time from one location to another and arriving in that other location. But your physical mind and your physical eyes and your heart that see that experience must put it in a linear way, because your mind is still working from a linear perspective. And so you're getting used to how to see the omnipresence as now, feel the omnipresence as now, feel your multidimensional reality as now, and let go of anything that's holding you back in the linearity. And it will feel kind of confusing at times, because you're going to wake up one day and say, well, I'm just going to let go of this because it's holding me in place. I want to let that thread go. I want to let that attachment go. I want to be multiverse. I want to go from this dimension, that dimension, this dimension, that dimension. And you simply can. It is just a matter of arranging who you are in that space-time experience. We say space-time because those are the words you're used to. It's just the experience of vibration. And so, dear lighted ones, you're a part of the all and the omnipresence, and your version and your experience of your reality will be very delightful, and you're partaking of the vast divine plan of when you're being activated and how you're being activated and with whom you're being activated, for these are all within your divine plan that you're meant to experience. So trust in the divine plan. Trust in the higher self that you come with and the soul that you come with and how you're activated and with whom and how and why. The planet is your greatest activator, for she holds much wisdom and healing for you. Remembrances of the plants and the floral and the fauna and the experiences of the energies that are creating your new life and the plant life on your planet are from many different realms. So enjoy it, be in one with it, be in the soaking of the benevolence of it. You don't want to rush these times, dear lighted ones. Soak every moment for what it's worth. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. We're so grateful. And we're just seeing, I'm just tuning in to see if there's any more that they want to expand. I'm trying to keep these videos shorter. And these are sacred texts from Joanna. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I'm a conduit, a vessel, and an instrument of the divine and the holy. And I'm so grateful to be a conduit on this planet for the Holy Christ. And I say the Holy Christ consciousness in the metatronic form of who we are as sacred geometry and the beautiful Merkaba song of the sacred energy of oneness and light evolution for all programs and all life. For the evolutionary programs of experiential species that are watching us right now. So they're showing me in this offering with you. So they're showing me this partnering universe that is looking through a portal. So they're looking through a portal like this. It's just the words we have, it's not what it is. They're looking through this portal from one dimension to another. And so I did this. It's so amazing. I'm so excited I get to dive deeper in these things that I find very exciting. As wide and as vast as we can go, I get excited about it. So this is our universe right here. And there are beehives just like you are. You're a beehive and you're responsible for your beehive. You're responsible for your vessel that sits within it. You can get activated at any point of space arrangement, if you will. It's all codes, it's all light, it's all harmonic threads within a greater harmonic thread, within a greater harmonic thread, within a greater harmonic. So as this universe is ready to step into a new thread of energy, it's also threading and calling in that light from that universe and threading it in this universe and threading it in, because God is the master creator. I'm a part of the creator collective. And so we're working with different universes and different galaxies, and we're harmonizing in different codes and different lights that are being placed within our field. Deposits, they said, particle deposits that we can recognize. This is why when you go to a sacred site, if you will, you'll recognize the deposits in that site. We say deposits in the site. It just means that the vibration of that sacred site. Say if this was Sedona and this was Peru, these have sacred deposits that are meant for you. Your team knows you're going to be there, your galactic teams, your celestial teams, all of the teams that you know you're working with to help evolve the planet, because they know that you're a conduit and you anchor other light into the planet. So they're working with you in your whole epicenter of light, which I brought forward many years ago. You are an epicenter of light. Each universe is an epicenter of light. One epicenter is no less God than any other epicenter. It's all God. And God is the master thread. But if we're not accepting and we're constantly resisting or protesting, then that light can't live through us. And we're not allowing all those beautiful codes, even though it might feel unfamiliar, we open up to it and allow it, because that code is, again, something you've never experienced before. That light is something you've never experienced before, but it's you. It's just a version of you that you don't have a word for yet. So this is why it's really important to keep yourself on the verge and on the edge of something profound and something great. You're not always going to have words for what you're experiencing, because we're entering multidimensional arenas of space-time particles that are new to us. So we're going to be using the words that are most applicable, but just be patient with how the stories are going to open up and how it feels most of all. Tune into how you feel in any one place with any certain experience, and then just allow the story to unfold, because your teams and your higher self will help you through depositing words and through depositing familiarities, so that you're becoming more and more telepathic with your multiverse experience. And that's the only way, because we're still human and we still have these, we still are operating from words and definitions that help us define what we're going through. But you can just relax into it and say, how can I bring a new word to this? How can I bring a new experience to this? How can I bring new words to what I'm feeling, because it's so different? And just allow that multidimensional transformation to occur. We can't bring 3D words that are very dense and are very non-descriptive to a multidimensional experience. So we've got to think of new words and new experiences of what we're moving through. So just allow that. And so they were saying that these experiences of this multiverse transference, if you will, there's codes and there's energies that are being deposited, that those of us that can feel it, and those of us that are a part of that co-creative experience, we're harmonizing, and we're sewing, basically. We're vibrationally sewing. That's why I've used the words that I have over the years, the threading, because we're threading those songs and those harmonics from spirit into this new earth. And we're threading those strange and one-off codes, because those codes are needed for Gaia, they're needed for the grids, they're needed for the omnipresence. The more that you can tap into and allow yourself to expand into these profound conversations of expansiveness, the more you get used to harmonizing into greater expansiveness. So really take yourself out there. What things do you want to explore? Again, you're that sacred child, and you're going to discover yourself anew. So allow yourself to play within this divine plan, and just surrender it to spirit. Surrender to spirit every night that you're harmonizing your body and you're alchemizing your body into greater light codes. And play with it. How can I heal my body into greater light codes? What is it that I need to do? How can I start manifesting greater nourishment in my body? Spending more time outside, releasing old patterns that keep you stuck in old patterned ways, because you want to see yourself expand and prepare for first contact. Preparing for first contact means you're allowing yourself to be the most expansive being, and all the beings that you work with on other realms are wanting to come out and play with you. So they're preparing you too, and they're working with you to prepare your fields. You don't just move along without being prepared, and all of a sudden there's a collective of beings before you. Just as if you wouldn't, feel that comfortable, going and standing in front of beings that you've never been involved with, and all of a sudden you're there and you're having to understand their language and their ways they move about life. We're all being prepared, micro, macro, on all sides. The universe and the multiverse is coming together in a beautiful way of unity and oneness. From a multiverse perspective, so really allowing yourself to let go of any limitation where it's so self, the habituations and the distractions of superficial reality. Release those in every moment that you can, and start thinking about the vast cosmos that you belong to. Is a really great way to start aligning your own epicenter of light with the omnipresent epicenter of light, and the omni, micro, macro start changing and altering, and you're opening up for those beautiful vibrational beings. We're going to do one short channel, and then we're going to pull a card, because they want me to also do animal channeling. So thank you. Any animals that would like to come through, for those that are listening now and future now moments, of any animals that have passed or with them in this moment, or how you are connected with animals in the biosphere intelligence of Gaia. Any energies that would like to come forward, for those listening now and future now moments, and just know, as a channel, as a conduit that I am, I offer codes and I offer light to activate who you are as a multidimensional being, for you to remember who you are as a soul and a child of spirit, a child of all that is. You are a dynamic, universal child of all that is, and we offer this with gratitude and thanks. And they're saying anybody that would like to donate to Joanna, the links are below. They're always so gracious for me. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. I have rarely asked for donations all through the timelines, and I always put out far more than what I ever receive back. But they're saying now is a time for Joanna to receive. So please feel free to donate in the links below. And any appointments for discussions and global travel that you would like her to come and co-create with you on a multidimensional level, please connect with her. We're always free and liberated to be with her in these explorations, and we're so very grateful for her offerings to your planet to bring these expansive knowings to you in such ways that you're growing in your vibrations of intelligence and knowledge of who you are as a multiverse being. This card jumped out. I don't know what it is, but I'll just put it there. Thank you, Spirit. So we're becoming closer and closer with Joanna in her channelings and in her workings, that you'll see her pop in and out of channel as her higher versions of who she is, with the councils of light and the various creators that she belongs with, will come through and speak with you, dear lighted ones, as if we are speaking directly to spirit, and you are speaking directly to an open experience of her as spirit, because she is spirit, and she's very close to spirit in all realms, in all ways, and she can work with you as spirit and offer you the highest healing of who you are at your heart space. So we are speaking through her in this moment right now. Offer you gratitude and appreciation for being here, dear lighted ones. We want you to see your experience in completely different ways by feeling into the exuberance of who you are. All things and all aspects of light is the divine plan working within itself, for itself, of itself. For this is spirit calling itself in to be whole, to be healed, to be a beautiful exploration of who it is. The source of sources. You are a source as well. All aspects are they not? Yes, of course it is. Gaia, the planet of Gaia in this part of its galaxy, is no less God than Jupiter, is it? Of course not. Jupiter has its roles, has its divine plan, has its codes of its own divine plan within its own soul blueprint. So does Gaia. So do you. So does the person next to you, the one that you challenge so much, the one that challenges you so much. All a divine plan within the greater plan within the greater plan. So know that each story comes with its own soul's experience of the divine plan. All are being activated in divine timing based on how each are in devotion of itself, to seek within itself, to heal within itself, to love within itself, and accept itself as whole is each responsibility of thyself. Seeking within and knowing thyself will allow you the highest expansive of thyself. Consciousness is all. This will be the other one. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Diving for light on the spirals of manifestation. So yeah, there's like portals, the spirals and diving for light. So as you're moving within who you are, as a spiral of who you are in multiverse perspectives, you're letting go of what you think is linear now, only on one fixed planet, but you're living on many planets at many times. Many of you, they're out there telling me to prepare you for the multidimensional shifts. Many of you will experience moments of yourself in which the higher versions of you are going to come through and harmonize so that you're spiraling in a new manifestation of your allness. So just accept it. You have been so used to calling in those vibrational shadows and dark of the night, soul of the night, all those lower aspects and the tragedies of you, but you can also look forward to the higher aspects of you, through which you are a multidimensional being of the multiverse. And that higher version is also calling you in as you're calling other aspects of you in, and accepting yourself as everybody before you. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I'm so grateful. We accept you in this great time of great change, dear lighted ones. Just flow, be in the highest light and play. The more that you play, the more you raise the vibration of consciousness on this planet. Forgive yourself and forgive those around you. And remember to play, dear lighted ones. To hear the birds, to hear the insects of all life around you. For every insect is a part of the divine plan. And this is when you start to feel the compassion of all life, the glory of all life, and the sacredness of all life. For who is it to say that any one being and any one thing on our planet is not needed and not required? For it is a part of the divine plan, for it is here. As you change your consciousness to allness and acceptance of allness, then you will see exactly what you need to see before you, dear lighted ones. This is the all plan, the divine plan, and that is the Creator's will for you, if you so choose, and if you so choose to be a part of this malleable, fluidic experience of love and light. And we thank you all, dear lighted ones, for joining us in this beautiful sanctuary of love and light. For remember, dear lighted ones, your space is sacred because of the energy within it. And this is how we feel about all of Gaia and all of creation, for you are all sacred. Thank you, Holy Dear Light. This is a light language for your divine experience of who you are as multiverse beings. Dear lighted ones, open up to who you are as light. Just open up your hearts to receive who you are as divine. Sacred activations of holy light is the universal omnipresence. You are eternal, dear lighted ones. If you choose to release illness and disease, do it now, dear ones. Do it now, do it now. I release all disease, I release all illness, for I am in charge of my consciousness now, now, now. I release all darkness, I release all density that is holding me back, now, now, now. And the divine Holy Creator is allowing me to release this to the Holy Creator, for I am done with that story. I am done with the lessons in that vibration. I choose to move on to my grander experience of me, now, now, now. I am Yamani dedication and I like my eye and and I got it. I see that I get the key. I am a eat the Kishiana. I cannot cut it. Thank you, Spirit. Yes, Yanamakai. Sacred essence of the light. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Light expands, dear lighted ones. Be fluid within it. Be fluid within it. For there won't be much in your reality changing your perspective on all that you thought was science, and it will become more malleable and more expansive and more undeniably miraculous. Release all fixed notions about what you thought yourself to be and what you thought yourself existed within, for it will be very changing. It will be very fluid. So celebrate, dear lighted ones, and seek into that excitement. Seek into the exploration with your galactic teams, your celestial teams, and the beautiful essence of who you are as galactic and celestial. For it is you. They're not outside of you. It is you. Your DNA is it. Does that make sense, dear lighted ones? Those ones standing before you are you. What is it that you need to see from them and hear from them to know that you are valued and belonging? Of course you are. Seek that in thyself, dear lighted ones, and heal thy name. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. Ishana Makaya da Tatisam Asiana Nakata Iam eight the Kasiana Ayat Inya Atake Yasiana Kirap Marat Nirap Maya Itiana Nakata. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is my friend from the 6th dimensional Plutonians. We see you create great light, dear ones. How you activate one another with your frequencies of allness within the vessels of who you are. For remember, dear lighted ones, all affects the all. Just as you are standing beside a tree, that tree affects you and you affect the tree. For your fields are very fine. The more that you refine your fields, refine your vessel, refine your thought forms, refine your beingness, so too is it also refined. The all becomes refined. The all becomes a new version of you, a new version of the universe, all becoming more refined. And we see it from the very farthest of your galaxy. That's where we are, dear lighted ones. It is a vibration you have called afar. But we are right here with you in your skies. But we are also there and here and all places. We have been with Joanna for some time. She has shown us the frequencies of the density that you carry in your bodies, how it affects your plant life, your children's life. So your vessels are very important to become aware of what you carry with you, how to release it and be the masters of refinement of light. For we feel it upon our planet frequency. Our consciousness is affected by your refinement. And so they've left. Thank you. And that was my friend from 6th dimensional Plutonians. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So I just see beings that are coming in and out of a door. It's like a revolving door, and they just come in to create and co-create with these frequencies. Thank you, Holy Spirit, because they're so excited. We're opening up to more and more galactic celestial conversations in our channelings, and then our sacred offerings to humanity to expand who you are as omnipresent light, universal light, for high vibrational experiences that are being granted and deposited in your fields, dear lighted ones, in your hearts. If you so seek it, it will be there. We come to you whether you ask or not. We just don't show ourselves. You're not ready for us yet, but we are always here. How can we not be? We are one. We understand how to, if you will, travel, but we are just here. We don't have to travel, if you will. We're just versions of your experience that come through in your so-called speech or feeling or sensation. You can feel us in the difference of vibrations of warmth or temperature, or just a sensation of knowing, for that is how your field operates as a sensory being and a mechanism of light and communion with energy. For it will just feel familiar but not familiar. That is what we talked about earlier, about the depositing of codes in your field that will feel familiar but not familiar. You won't be able to quite put your finger on it, and you're not meant to, for it's not from here. So open up and just delight in it. It's love, it's love, it's love. Be discerning. Is this a love vibration? Is a love particle? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. And see all beings of planet Earth seeking their love vibration, seeking their inner wisdom and childhood. Who are they within themselves? See it. See them seeking their oneness within themselves and their holy creatorhood and the healing of their souls. For all that is ever manifested, dear lighted ones, begins within, as within. And thus then, so without you are an omnipresent being, and we thank you for this delight co-creation. Thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. The omnipresent is always with you. Thank you. I always say good night, dear lighted ones. Thank you. We're going to pull one more card before we go, just to say good night, dear lighted ones. Oh, one of my favorite cards. The shock of the new. That's what we were talking about. You're going to have these multidimensional ascension, not only ascension symptoms, but these flashes of quasi experiences that are getting you used to a higher vibrational earth experience. The frequencies of new earth, the frequencies of shifting, the frequencies of understanding how time-space is arranged. It's arranged by vibration, by the openness of who you are as the celestial, universal, omnipresent song of spirit, always changing. There is a huge divine plan that goes beyond what you can imagine. And anything before you is a divine plan of planning and preparation. When you're ready to move forward with your gifts, when you're ready to move forward with the expansiveness, when you're ready to release all karma and step into the new version of you, then that is merely what you devote to yourself to work out with spirit and the karma board and your higher self and your soul. But you must go through your soul's lessons. That's why you're here. Because you have no idea what your divine grand plan is with spirit. So go within and start seeking those little pinpoint moments. And you'll recognize them through much reflection and observation from your childhood and your past. What have you been most excited about? What have you been most observing? What have you been most incredibly excited to discover and explore? Has it been the oceans? Has it been the earth? When you're speaking in your highest terms of excitement, where have you been and what are you doing? Refer to those moments as parts of your divine plan. They're little fragments and particles meant for you to play with. They're like little nuggets and candy that spirit leaves you, that your higher self leaves you, that your soul leaves you, so that you remember who you are, just as Joanna's experienced today with her client. There were experiences that reminded her how to create portals, how to be with ones that she loves so very much and that love her so very much. Hi, Titike. They're always with her, but she often is distracted by the energies of the superficial reality, and she does not open up to what is always with her. There's a whole tribe of legions that are walking with her to explore the earth with her, and she understands and knows this and feels it in her higher consciousness. And she's so delighted to play with us once again as she awakens to her new omnipresent gifts. I am a Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. So grateful. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you. So very grateful. That was awesome. That was awesome. I love being with Spirit. It feels so good. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Spirit. So we're going to leave you. Links are below. Anybody that'd like to donate and connect, links are below. We love you so very much. Be playful, children, and expand. Our children need it. Our children need it. They feel the vibrations of our expansiveness. It's so awesome. So play, dear lighted ones. Call in your light ships. Call in your teams. Call in your healing teams. Know that you have absolute control and memory of who you are as a multidimensional being, and just activate that memory. Just as your cells remember beautiful, healthy timelines, so does everything else that you are as an epicenter of light. We love you, dear lighted ones. Our links are below. The donation links are below. And we'll connect with you soon. Bye, dear lighted ones. And we love you so very much. We love you. We love you. Love you. Bye.